You'll want to get your third up and established, maybe get to 65, 70 drones. You're going to go on roach speedling for your defensive units, and that means you can delay your layer a little bit because they do synergize pretty well, especially against gateway units.
Well, that wouldn't help me very much against your mass Oracle army.
That much is true. Although my thinking is if you have your fast third, you have a lot of droning, you've held off this eight zealot pressure or whatever they have in mind with their gateway units, then you have the stability necessary to spot that oracle. Because really, part of this is you were so occupied. I mean, you even had an overlord in position and you had overlord speed, but we see it was never scouted because you were so occupied dealing with these zealots. And if it's scouted, then 2 spores per base later, you're immune to my oracles. And you're still way ahead on economy because you're on 3 base and 60 to 70 drones to my 2 base and 50 to 60 probes.
Okay.
So it's not a case where you can't defend against air without layer. It's definitely a little harder, but especially since you're not really going Hydra too often anyways, I would say you're probably just as well off. Mutas do pretty well against oracles, but I mean, really anything does well against oracles.
Oracles can't. Well, they can't attack air, right? So obviously they do pretty well against them. I would assume
That they do, yeah.
that makes sense.
You might even call it a hard counter. It's close. The oracle can run away pretty fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I would say the one thing to really take away from that is just make sure you're deliberately either going fast third or fast muta, but never both at the same time.
Okay.
All right, I'd say we got time for one more if that works for you.
Yeah, sure. I can do one more.
Okay. I would say by comparison, from high diamond to low masters, what I'm trying to throw at you right now. So, again, in no means let this get you down because I don't feel like this is a case where you're progressing slowly in ZVP or anything like that. I feel like this is just more allowing you to see everything that you're going to start seeing because Protoss start to really branch out. It used to be that at Platinum they were just probably making lots of gateway units and hoping they win, or they were going for something really weird like mass cannons into carriers. And now you're going to start actually seeing coordinated builds. So
Not going to see much of the mass cannon carrier build. That's a good one. It's a good one.
It's good. Believe it or not, I do see it. Actually, I had a game a couple days ago where my opponent saw Swarm Host and was already committed to double Stargate, so he put like 10 cannons at his third. And then went straight into carrier and then cussed me out when he left. It was a really nice rage quit, actually. Called me really cheesy and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't. I generally will not talk to someone. Like, if I rage quit, I'll just leave. I will not, like, actually engage in them and, like, tell them anything. I will just leave. And if they come back, sometimes people will come back and be like, lol, 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 you lost the game, or whatever thing they do. But I refuse to engage in that. I'll just ignore them.
What I do if someone does that is usually I'll ignore them, but once in a while if it's really entertaining, especially if I'm streaming because it's a good show,
Yeah.
I'll like message them and I'll say something deliberately nice to them. I'll just be like, "Hey, dude, that was a good game." or the one the other day, I was like, "Man, you're really good at this game. You want to practice sometime?" And it's like he played a decent game. For the build he went, he actually held up really well.
Yeah.
It's not every day you see someone go mass cannon into a carrier and actually go 25 minutes. So yeah, it's definitely funny how emotionally involved people get.
Well, I mean, that's because, well, here we go. I've got a whole psychological theory about why people get really emotionally involved with StarCraft, even more so than like other games, like multiplayer games. Like first-person shooters, like Battlefield and Company of Heroes, not a Company of Heroes, Call of Duty. And that's because it's, especially if it's 1 versus 1, it's like just you and another person, right? It's like, so there's no allies coming in to save you. It's just you and another person. You get into a room and one dies and one lives, type of deal. So if you mess up, it's all on you. There's no one you can abdicate responsibility to. you know, it's entirely your fault. So that makes people, I feel like, more invested because, you know, you can't blame anybody else. You know, there's no way you can say, oh, you know, it's because this guy came in and did whatever. If you fucked
Yeah.
up, you fucked up.
Yeah, League
And
of Legends, you can defer responsibility, say, "Oh man, my support sucks."
yeah,
It's hard to
exactly.
carry when my
Yeah.
support sucks. Yeah. Well, and I think part of it is, by comparison, Company of Heroes, any of the
Oh,
Red Alert games, anything like that. Uh oh,
sorry, I forgot my
that's a
gas.
ah. Well, actually, that would have been a really early gas, anyways. You may want to bump that back a little bit, ZVP.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I think StarCraft actually pushes people quite a bit beyond what some of the other games do. I mean, by the end of a long StarCraft game, it feels like you've played to your fullest. So it's not even like you can say, "Oh, I was just messing around."
Yeah.
More often than not, you were working your ass off, and then someone just rolled you.
Yeah, and then if you lose after you invested like half an hour of your time
Hmm.
into this game and you're like coming out and you're like sweating bullets and you lost, it's pretty tough to take because, you know.
And then the other guy's sitting there like, "You mad, bro? What, you mad?"
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, come on, come on! I just lost a game.
I don't. It's tough to not take this game seriously. Although I
It is.
definitely, for some reason, I get more angry when I play 2 versus 2 with someone than I do when I 1v1. I don't know why.
I find team play really frustrating. So I can kind of understand that. I think it would be fun if I just was playing with someone who could coordinate with me well. A lot of times it's like, oh well, I'm going to go do this. Okay, well I'll try to do something that works with that, but that's not really a team play build. It's like I just forgate and cannon rush every game. Oh, and you're masters level 2v2? Yeah, standard. Okay, good to know.
Oh man. Okay. I'm falling back into the same thing I think with the ZVP is I feel like I don't have a plan, I guess. I never feel like I've got a real plan.
A bit like the ZVT was a
Yeah.
week ago.
Now, when I ZVT, I've got a build that works for me, which is that 2 base muta into pressure, and then expand, and then not outright kill them, but hopefully put them on the defensive so I can just macro up and then kill them later. And that works really well for me. And I still have yet to find an equivalent in versus Protoss. And I've got a build that works well for me with Zerg
I'm,
play.
think, I'm thinking we may want to find you a practice partner, honestly,
Yeah.
for ZVP. But we'll talk about that here in a moment.
Okay.
One question is, have you made any Zerglings yet? This game.
Nope.
Okay. When you finish your pool, and this is a rule you can apply to any matchup, when you finish your pool, you want to always make sure that you make at least one set of Zerglings.
Is
That
one
mat-
set like just 2, or do you mean like one set in terms of like 3 drones, 6 Zerglings?
Two. Yeah, just two Zerglings. I'm sorry.
okay,
That's
just two
probably
Zerglings.
more clear. Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's map control there that you absolutely must know. So, for example, these zealots, a little bit more surprising than they would have been.
Yeah. Oh, you recalled them. Okay, that's
Yep.
what you did.
I just waited till they were getting low and recalled. Risk-free investment. Ah.
Yeah. It's like Terrans in their scans. That's a risk-free investment.
Actually, scans lose 300 minerals every time they use them.
Though, I don't buy that because it's not like the minerals are going anywhere. It's not like the minerals disappear. They're still there.
Well, if they're spending clean, then that's 300 minerals worth of mule mining that they would have had. So yeah, I mean, scans definitely do cost resources. It's just it's kind of potential resources rather than resources in the bank already.
Yeah.
But high level Terran, I mean, they're not banking anything anyways. Not for quite a while now.
did that probe see that queen building or something, and he decided to leave?
No, no, I just realized he was there.
Oh, okay.
I was just like, oh, hey, look, I've got a probe hanging out at his third. We should fix that.
Oh crap.
Our forces are under attack. More Vespine gas. Spawn overlords. We require more Vespine gas. Our forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack. Metamorphosis complete. The hive cluster is under attack. Our forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack. Metamorphosis complete. Mutation complete.
Oh well, there's nothing I can do against this.
Yeah, this is one of those ones that
Under attack. Mineral.
really carries a lot of Protoss through their Masters ZVP. Just any sort of immortal gateway timing is really tough for Zerg to deal with. I find Swarm Host to be one of the best ways to deal with it.
Okay.
Also, if you can get the Muta Harass started, then that's really good too. But in this case, since you were going fast third, that's going to be a little bit delayed. But 3-base Muta is actually really, really good. You just saturate all the gas right when your layer finishes, and you're going to be able to crank out Mutas so fast. And that really nullifies their immortals, because you're going to probably be spending your minerals on speedlings, so they won't get that bonus damage. So, yeah, I'm not really too terribly worried about how you respond to that. I think really now it's just going to be a matter of tightening up your build orders. And for now, when you see Immortal Sentry, my hope is you're just going to have enough stuff that it's easy enough to deal with.
Okay.
Later on, we may want to talk about this build specifically when you start seeing it consistently game after game.
It's a popular one.
It's a very popular one. Wings of Liberty, it was super popular. Now it's still pretty heavily used. It's kind of like they flip a quarter, and they, depending on if it's heads, they're going Immortal Sentry. If it's tails, they're going Sky Toss.
Okay.
So, all right. So, how are you feeling about this for ZVP?
Worse.
Honestly, worse. Yeah.
Worse than I came in.
No, I can hear it.
Yeah.
And that's understandable. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. Keep in mind your ZVT. I felt like it didn't really start to hit a turning point until our second lesson. So
Right.
let's keep an eye on it. Play some more games, and I think we want to do some homework for this one.
Okay.
We'll do probably one more this weekend if you're able.
Yes, I should be able to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
We'll talk after.
Yeah, this is going to be kind of fun homework here. Your goal is to have a build order written out for me by our next lesson.
How far do you want the build order to go to?
We'll say 60 supply.
To 60 supply. Okay.
Yep. So, just timings based on your supply count. So at 9, I make an overlord. You can discontinue overlords after like 20 supply. I'm not too worried about those. But make sure you're at 15 supply. I make my hatchery. At 22 supply or whatever it may be, I make my first extractor. So that way we can see what structure you currently have in your mind. Because if you have no structure, the process of making that build order, whether it's what you stick to or not, is going to help you get an idea of what you're currently doing.
So, this is exclusively for ZVP.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Because I feel like ZVT, I don't think that exercise is really necessary given how well you're doing.
Yeah.
But ZVP, it feels like we played 4 or 5 games and I didn't see the same thing once.
Yeah, that's because I have yet to find out what really works well, at least for me and my play style against Protoss. In the early games, I was having a lot of success with early pressure against Protoss. It's working well for me. But I've kind of abandoned that to play more macro type games.
Yeah, that'll only carry you so far. Eventually, you'll find they hold it so well you can't macro out of it.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good choice, and maybe that is part of the adjustment process we're seeing because you may not have really experienced macro Protoss much at all until recently. So, okay, well, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call it on mine. I'll probably cut the recording off here.
Okay.
What about for you?
Yeah, well, we'll cut it off right here. I'm trying to think if there's any last sort of words or requests or anything that I want to say, but nothing jumps out at me. So, once again, I want to thank you guys for watching. This is Joseph Resort of Soundland signing off for now. And until next time, I hope you join us for our fourth or third installment. I'm trying to get in some actual, just ladder matches. So me training on the ladder. If that's, if I can conceivably do that well and still play a good game and it be entertaining for people to watch and not get my ass handed to me. So that's in the works. But, for now, you guys take care. And if there's any last words you want to put on my recording, Rekatan, now is your chance.
I'm all set over here. Everyone who's new on my YouTube, I appreciate you guys subscribing and tuning in. It's been really cool to see the influx of new viewers. So thanks a bunch for joining me on my side.
Great. All right. I'll see you guys next time.